We're on the verge of this week's dominant media story, President Trump's Republican convention, following the saturation coverage for the virtual Democratic convention with
Well, good morning, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Brad here, and I know that a lot of you guys are dealing with weather issues. I know the storm's coming up the Gulf, into the Gulf there, that hurricane action. And for you, I say we will be praying for you. Stay safe. Just hang in there. You know, we've been through many, many storms. Krista and I, we lived in Florida for many years. And we've even had the eye of a hurricane go straight over the top of our house. We went outside because it was like calm. It was very strange. Everything got green. But anyway, I digress. Hang in there. The weather's temporary. As we're going to read today, a lot of things are temporary. And we would probably do well to keep that in mind. Maybe use it as a reminder. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to be reading out of the book of Matthew. We're going to continue in chapter 10, Matthew chapter 10, ESV version of the Bible. And we're going to finish out the chapter. But before we do, let's say hi to everybody. There's a lot of you guys here, and let's get cooking. So good morning to Stars in the Forest, Plan with Jen, Phoebe. Good morning, Scott, Sally, Lisa, Allie, and Mike DeFazio. That was a pretty good one, I think. It's not too shabby there. Good morning. Phoenix, good morning, Delaney B, Tess, and Pepper Lee, Bulletproof Pastor, Playing with Jen. We said hello. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's a good idea. Put some music while I could probably do that. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Okay, sorry, distracted as I sometimes get. Good morning to T. Pearson. Good morning to Krista and Phoebe and crew, Krista and crew. And Jean Marie, Ruth. Good morning to Amanda, Jean, Jeanette. Good morning to Amanda, Bandana, Grandma, and Joy. Good morning to you. And I think I've got everybody. If I've missed you, I promise it was unintentional. Forgive me. Have a good morning. Good morning. Clink. All right. Matthew chapter 10, starting in verse 26. Let me clear my eyes and let's do this. Good morning, Yarn Prepper. All right. Have no fear, for nothing is covered that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. What I tell you in the dark, say in the light, and what you hear whispered, proclaim on the housetops. And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather, fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? And not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father. But even the hairs of your head are numbered. Fear not, therefore. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to rephrase it. I want to reread it. Verse 30. But even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore. You are of more value than many sparrows. Sometimes it's clunky reading. So everyone who acknowledges me before men, I will all acknowledge before my Father who is in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I will also deny before my Father who is in heaven. Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to set man against father, and daughter against her mother, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Whoever receives you receives me, and whoever receives me receives him who sent me. The one who receives a prophet because he is a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. And the one who receives a righteous person, because he is a righteous person, will receive a righteous person's reward. And whoever gives one of these little ones even a cup of cold water because he is a disciple, truly I say to you, he will by no means lose his reward. Okay. There's some things in there that were hard to read. Sorry for stumbling through there. Oh, if the hairs of my head are numbered, I'm missing a lot of numbers. That's funny. Okay, let's dig in here, guys. All right. A lot of this is WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. WYSIWYG. But there are some things that we can dig into here. First of all, let's go to verse 26. So have no fear of them. Okay, of them. Who are the of them? Well, you got to read in context and the way that chapters are broken up in the Bible. Sometimes you've got a continuing thought that happened, started before, and then here we are. Of them. If you remember from Friday, we were talking about persecution, in that the non-believers are going to throw you under the bus, and sometimes even believers. But we'll talk about that in another time. But we were talking about when persecution comes, that they even said that you'll be, flogged in synagogues, your churches, that you will be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them, before the Gentiles. And life is not going to be always sunshine and lollipops. It's just how it is. And so of them, verse 26, so have no fear of them, those people. For nothing is hidden that will not be revealed. And Jesus goes on to say basically, like, look, all of this stuff is temporary. Everything that you're dealing with is temporary. You shouldn't really be worrying so much about those people that can kill your body, but you should really be worried about your soul. You should be concerned that you have made a commitment to me, to Jesus, that we are one, that you're saved, that you are now on the winning side, that you have committed your life to Christ, that you should be concerned about that relationship and not the one that is temporary. And it says here, and do not fear those who kill the body, but who cannot kill the soul. Rather fear him who can kill, or who can destroy both the soul and body in hell. That's obviously a reference to Satan. But by our, if you choose not to side with Christ, then you are still making a choice. If you choose not to be submitted to Christ, if you choose not salvation, then you are choosing the dark side. I know it sounds, it's a hard thing to chew up if you're like a fence rider, if you've been sitting on the fence and you haven't really made a decision to jump in and have that salvation in your life, because you're like, well, that's hard. That seems hard. Well, yeah, but guess what? Jesus' sacrifice should be more than ample for anybody, for anything. So why do we go, well, I kind of want to have a toe in this world and I want to have a toe in that world. I want to be able to do fun things whenever I want. The reality is we need to put aside the things that are of death and destruction, that will cause decay and rot, and embrace the things of life. Really? So that's the thing. It is a black and white issue. It is most certainly not a gray area. There is no gray area. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so verse 28, there you have it. You're worried about the wrong stuff is what I wrote down. Think eternal. This world is temporary. Everything in it, even pain, is temporary. Stinks to have to go through it, but we go through it. You don't waffle because things are hard and just say, forget it, I don't need this Jesus thing anymore. Well, that would be a mistake, because that's the thing that's keeping you going. Christ. Let's continue on. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about 10 different things that I want to say, but I want to say them in the right order, if that makes sense. So we're going to continue on. All right, verse 29. I wrote that down wrong. It's not 29. It is verse. Well, God has not forgotten you. He still cares. That's a point. Verse 32. So everyone who acknowledges me before men, this one's classic, right? We've heard this again and again and again. So everyone who acknowledges me before men, I will acknowledge before my Father who is in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I will also deny before my Father in heaven. Okay. Let's hit the pause button and then go, duh. I mean, that's pretty much common sense. It's like, are you going to stand for me here? Or are you going to waffle? When the rubber meets the road, are you going to stand or are you going to waffle? And so the question is, well, then why should I stand for you when you're standing before the Father if you won't stand for me? How about you let your yes be yes and your no be no, stand for what is right, condemn what is wrong, and let's do this. This is one of those, I hesitate to say duh statement when it comes to Jesus, but it's not that Jesus is in a duh state of mind, not at all, but it's that this statement is so patently, yeah, are you kidding me? If you're not going to stand up for Christ now, and then you expect Christ to be like, no, God, I got this. When it's time, it makes no sense at all. It's wiggywig. What you see is what you get. You want me to, Jesus saying, you want me to stand for you? Fine, you stand for me. We're good? We're good. It's pretty simple. But people take it as harsh because I think mainly they don't want to deal with the fact that they don't want to give up certain sins in their life. Think about that for a sec. The only reason why this would be a harsh statement for anybody to accept is probably because they just don't want to give up certain elements of their life that are just sinful, and they just don't. They're like, we'll see what happens. I think that's a very dangerous position to be in, and I wouldn't risk my eternal soul with, we'll see what happens. All right, moving on. Okay, now, this whole section is Jesus is really, really laying the smack down, honestly. He's laying the smack down in a way that's very important for us to see, because I think a lot of people we don't take it very seriously for whatever reason. Maybe it's just because there's so much going on in society and we see chaos and the media is constantly beating us down. And the way that society is now is that